In MotoGP, fans often wonder who would beat each other if they were teammates. Well, here is probably one you've heard before: Casey Stoner versus Marc Marquez. Who would win this battle? Now, this is an interesting one, as when you look at the career paths of Stoner and Marquez, effectively Marquez took the spot of Casey Stoner in 2013. And it's fair to say Marc has done very well since he has joined MotoGP. And Stoner, was at the peak of his powers, I believe, in 2011 on the Honda. So what result would we get if Marc Marquez raced Casey Stoner? There's a couple of factors into this, of course. You look at the bike they would ride, the tracks you would race on. So I came up with a little fantasy race, sort of, and my thoughts on what way it would work. So the bike, you would have to say, that would make it fair, as you look at the bikes that Stoner rode on throughout his career and what Marquez has rode on throughout his career, it wouldn't be fair to stick Stoner on a 2022 Honda and have Marquez on it as well. So you look at a bike that they've both rode, and if you remember, Casey Stoner still continued as test rider for Honda after he retired from MotoGP. So he rode all the bikes that Marquez would have rode up until 2015. But the best bike probably out of that lot was either the 2013 bike or the 2014 bike. For the sake of this argument, we're going to put both riders on the 2013 bike. What Stoner would you pick? So 2011 Casey Stoner, in my opinion, is the best version of Casey. And 2019 Marc Marquez is his best version. You could argue 2014, but 2019 Marquez, the record speaks for itself. I think he could jump on anything and adapt just incredibly well to it, plus a bike that he knows. So you have equal tyres, which would be the Bridgestones. They both rode on the Bridgestone tyres, and the tracks. So there's a few tracks that both of these riders excel around, and it would be Phillip Island for Casey. He won, I think, pretty much every race there since 2007 that he entered. And we have Sachsenring for Marc Marquez. He hasn't lost a race here in MotoGP. So there's one more track needed. So say, hypothetically, it is 1-1 and we have to settle it over one race. A track that I think would be perfect for these two would be Aragon. A track that both of them really excelled around, and it would be a good place for the Honda, as it is a bike that, generally goes well around Aragon. The results speak for themselves. Alex Marquez even had a second place here in 2020. Marc was second last year. Even going back to Casey's first year in 2011 on the Honda, he won around Aragon. So it is a track that, will favour the Honda. And could you imagine the race between Marquez and Stoner? You would have similar but contrasting styles. If you look at Casey Stoner in 2011, he was clinical from the start. He would build up a gap straight away and then manage it. And when he's been talking in the past about what he used to do, he was so critical on himself for making mistakes. He didn't really make any, but he would be so harsh on himself. But Marquez, on the other hand, from 2019, rarely made mistakes. So you get this perfect balance of just Marquez not really making mistakes, Stoner, who is so critical of himself and others that they make mistakes, he will punish you for it. You get that perfect blend. Marquez has won more world titles, of course, than Casey Stoner. Casey Stoner has won 2 MotoGP world titles, but the way Casey Stoner has done them, especially on Ducati and the Honda, competing with Marc, over a lap time in a race, I have no idea how that would go. In qualifying, I do think Casey Stoner over one lap just doesn't have as much as Marquez would have done in his prime. We're going 2019, Marquez in qualifying was just sensational, but Casey Stoner's one lap ability to just get a tyre and do it, unbelievable. So yeah, I don't know who is going to win this, but if you had to put it down to it, I think Marquez would come out on top, just out of sheer bloody just going for it attitude. I think it would come down to a last lap battle, And yeah, who knows what would have happened if these two would have been teammates. It would have been pretty special, something that we never got to see, but you know, we can think about it. And I do think that, you know, when you look at everything in terms of talent over the MotoGP era and in history, they're probably the two most talented riders that we have ever seen in terms of just for what they've done to the sport and how they changed things and how they have innovated styles. I think it's pretty incredible that, you know, even today people still wonder what these two would have been like as teammates. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on who you think would have won between Marquez and Stoner if they were teammates. It's something that it would have been incredible to see. Make sure to leave them in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to Crash MotoGP for more content.